Hey, welcome to another development devotional, and we are in the week that we're talking about worry and anxiety, and so today we're going to look at Philippians 4, verses 4 through 7. So Philippians 4 verses 4 through 7. I'll try to put those here at the bottom of the screen. And so we as baseball players, we struggle with worry, we struggle with anxiety. So let me read this verse, and then we'll talk a little bit about what it's saying to us today. It says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And I grew up hearing the verses 6 and 7 a lot, where it just starts off, says, "Do not be anxious about anything." But I think if we go back to verse 4 says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice." And I think that's the key actually to this verse, where, we're getting commanded here by Paul not to worry about anything. But I think the key here is he goes on to say, "Don't be anxious, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God." So it's like, hey, if you're going to worry, if you're feeling like worrying, go to the Lord with thankfulness, thankful that He's hearing your prayers, and present your request to Him. Hey, Lord, I'm really, really having a hard time today with my swing, with my coaching staff, with this other player that's on the team, and I'm worrying about how that's going to play out today. Father, will you just help me with that? So he's saying, go just thankful that He's there, with thankfulness for what He's given you, and then present your request. But at the very beginning, he says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice." Man, we're not likely to go to the Lord and ask Him for help if we're not rejoicing in who He is, and we're not going to be thankful unless we're rejoicing in who He is. And we've got to know who the Lord is and what He's done to rejoice. And that in and of itself is one of those things that's just going to help us to not worry as much. It's like, if I see, for instance, if I'm in a slump, and I've been in plenty of slumps, believe me, if I'm in a slump, but I can say to myself, you know what? I am so thankful for the fact that I have the game of baseball to even be able to play. Like, the Lord has gifted me with the ability to play this game. And while a lot of people don't have that ability to separate their lives and come out on the field and just play for a few hours, I have the ability to come play. And if the biggest thing I have to worry about is the fact that I'm in a slump, I'll be doing okay. Lord, thank you for giving me the gift of baseball. And just being able to rejoice in the Lord. And then there's a promise that comes with it. When we lay those things down, when we go to the Lord with thankfulness and we're rejoicing in Him, it says, "The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Man, that's an incredible promise for us. It's an incredible promise for everybody, but that's an incredible promise when He says, hey, you lay your anxieties, your worry down, and you give it to the Lord, and you ask Him for what you need, and the Lord's going to give you rest, and He's going to give you peace that you can't even comprehend, that you can't understand. You were sitting there in anxiety and worry, and He's just going to give you a peace that you can't even comprehend. So, man, hold on to that promise today. If you're worrying, if you're struggling, man, get in the Word, go to the Lord, lay it down, and let Him give you that peace.